This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Prime. In association with Micromax. Nothing like anything.
We're talking about property, the hottest asset in the country today, and you're watching Property It's Hot, the coolest show on TV that covers the A to Z of property. Hello and welcome, I'm Vasudha Sharma. Let's get started with today's lineup. A deal tracker of the mega land deals inked in Indian real estate recently. All you need to know about saving taxes in your property investments. And check out inverter air conditioners that cut your power bills by 60%. This week in our top story, let's unravel the rumblings in the real estate industry. The land market in India has witnessed a lot of action over the last 2 years. From Unitech, DLF to the Oberois and Tatas, major players have inked some mega land deals recently. So what are the underlying factors driving this churn in the market? Oinitam Ojha tracks the trend.
In the world's most densely populated country, land is precious, and it's proving even more so for some of India's largest corporates. Those who own and hold land are realizing fantastic value selling assets to companies who are land hungry. Consider Mumbai first. The land-starved city has seen the maximum deals. According to the Knight Frank Asia Pacific's Prime Asia Development Land Index, prime residential development land has appreciated by a hefty 35.2% in the last 2 years. No wonder corporates are out on a selling spree. Most recently, the market-listed company Oberoi Realty, while defaulting on loan to LIC Housing Finance on one hand, has still found enough cash to bid the highest amount and buy a land parcel of 25 acres from Tata Steel in Mumbai's Borivali suburb, offering 1,155 crore rupees in an e-auction. Tata Housing lost out to Oberoi Realty for its own group company's land. Instead, it went ahead and bought a 7.4 acres plot from KEC International for 214 crore rupees in Thane. Last year, when the slowdown pains were quite evident, Peninsula Land bought out the defunct 5-acre land of Mahindra Jesco in Baikula, Mumbai for 650 crore rupees. A Mumbai-based diamond merchant, Dilip Lekhi, shelled out 350 crore rupees to buy out Cadbury House, a popular South Mumbai landmark with spelled-out ambitions of entering the real estate business. Mumbai-based real estate developer Runwal Group bought out a prime 2-acre land parcel from shipbuilding firm ABG Shipyard Limited in Mumbai's Worli area for 245 crore rupees. Experts say there is merit for real estate companies in buying land from corporate houses.
When corporations put the land to sale, the developer has the opportunity to buy the land outright on as various basis, which is clean, which has no title issues, etc. And he does not have to necessarily get into a joint development and things like that. He just pays the money upfront and is able to get possession of the land, which is fairly difficult in this market to get a piece of land outright without any encumbrances.
Then there is another group of companies from National Capital Region which have gone overboard in buying land in the heydays of the property boom, are now selling the family silver to bail themselves out or simply to lighten the debt in the balance sheet. The trend all through 2012-2013 has continued well into the first quarter of 2014. DLF sold 17 acres in Worli, Mumbai to Lodha Group for 2,727 crore rupees. Parsavnath has put 1.18 acre on the block in Connaught Place area of Delhi for 700 crore rupees. Gorsons India bought 300 acres from JP Group in Greater Noida in the NCR for 1,500 crore rupees. Real estate developers say a slow market with depressed sales and need to service capital are the prime reasons behind companies liquidating realty assets. The recent land deal speaks volumes about the real estate market's appetite for clear land parcels. With market conditions expected to improve, industry experts say more such land deals are likely to hit the market in the coming days. In New Delhi, Oinita Moja for NDTV.
Recent trends in Chennai have revealed that OMR, Chennai's most promising micro market by far, has also been hit quite hard by the slowdown. But surprisingly enough, this negative trend hasn't stopped builders from continuing to look at this market. So why are developers so gung-ho about OMR? Jude Sanith finds out.
At Perungudi, just off OMR, Ambattur Realty's first residential project is nearing completion. At just 7,300 rupees per square foot, Falling Waters is widely regarded as good value for money, especially considering that just 2 kilometers away is Adyar, where rates are currently at rupees 16,000 per square foot. And that in many ways is indicative of OMR's status today. An emerging micro market with innumerable realty options.
We have a couple of people who have actually sold their apartment in Adyar and picked up an apartment over here and kept money in the bank, saying that this is 10 minutes away.
Despite the much talked about slowdown, the last 3 years have seen big industry players like Akshaya, TVH, Purvankara and PBEL launch projects in Padur and Kelambakam. A study conducted by Cushman and Wakefield has also revealed interesting findings. While the number of units launched saw a drop between 2011 and 2013, it's 2014's numbers which bring good news for the industry. According to the report, the first 3 months of this year alone have seen more than 3,000 units launched on the IT Expressway, more than half the number of launches in 2013. And going by industry insights, this is only the beginning.
We know that there are huge units that are in the pipeline, which are going to be hitting the floor, say from 2014 onwards. So the supply that we will be ending up end of 2016 will be quite large.
But the economics of it all just doesn't seem to add up. As of 2013, OMR accounted for a whopping 34% of Chennai's unsold inventory. Why go back to a market that hasn't exactly been at its best? Going by what the industry believes, that's simply because there's no other option.
There are no other roads in Chennai. You go north, you have the port, and there is nothing else on that part of town. You go west, you get and hit to Anna Nagar, and after that there is nothing developable over there. If you go to the east, you hit the sea. So where is the development? Where would you develop? You would only develop towards the south.
It's a known fact that OMR is Chennai's favorite micro market, but it's also fairly clear that there's a mismatch between what's needed and what's available. And even if this mismatch did not exist, there's no denying that without the resurrection of the IT industry, real estate absorption here can only remain lukewarm. In Chennai with camera person Sukumar, Jude Sanith for NDTV.
Today we are profiling one of the winners of the NDTV Design and Architecture Awards. Arjun Malik, Principal Architect of Mumbai-based Malik Architecture, won the Residential Interior Design of the Year award for his work on converting a mouldy old loft into a world-class dwelling. Let's chat with this dynamic young architect on his design philosophy and how he managed this transformation.
Mumbai is home to hundreds of colonial buildings that are considered derelict and uninhabitable. However, architect Arjun Malik seems to have pulled off the impossible by converting a narrow loft space into a dwelling that most of Mumbai would love to live in. Let's see what the architect's loft has in store for us.
This is a very old colonial building. It's almost 300 years old. It used to be the former Admiralty Court. It's not a very large space. It was about 650 square feet in footprint, and it was in terrible condition. So rather than getting caught up in what colonial stood for, we essentially retained the broad sweeping gestures that were originally intended here, which is getting rid of all that was not necessary, exposing the old wooden roofs. Wherever the old wooden wall panelings were done, we kind of scraped those off and exposed them. and then started to overlay that with a living program that we wanted. We have the major staircase here as part of the living space, where you can see there are only treads and no risers. What it does is it also acts like a filter for the light, so right through the day, you can see it right now as these patterns start to form across the wall. So my fiancée and I, the way we had very different timings, in that she'd be up very early in the morning to do her fitness classes, I'd get up a bit later, so we needed the fragmentation of that space. Otherwise, someone gets up in the morning, they open the cupboard, the light comes in, the bathroom noise, etc, etc. Even within a very tight space of 650 square feet, we managed to separate our sleeping areas into a mezzanine and then have actually quite a large and well-lit bathroom at the lower level, along with the walk-in wardrobes. I'd be getting up over there and my wife would be sitting up here and studying, and I get up first thing in the morning and she's not in the bed next to me, but I'd be looking across a window across the space and I'd see her working there. You know, some of these things can't be described, they can't be put into words. We actually went against the grain of designing in long narrow spaces where you tend to break things up laterally. Right? Instead, we decided to heighten the sense of that tunnel by designing things longitudinally. So when you look towards the more private area of the house, we've got a 10-foot or 11-foot wide space, which is further broken up into 3.5 or 4 feet of the circulation space, 2 feet of the wardrobe, and then 5 feet of the bathroom. So we've actually exaggerated that space to give you a sense of that aperture at the end of a tunnel. We never really consider the source material or the skeleton of a space to actually be the be-all and end-all of that space. So here we rather tend to work with the core functional elements and let those be analyzed and designed in such a way that they become the core and the essence of the apartment. It was lovely to come back to the apartment every day. It was nice to see the apartment changing during the day. And there were so many different light conditions. In all fairness, I felt farm, even though it's not very large, and it's not got the large glasses that you see in a lot of contemporary apartments today, I still felt connected to the passage of time and to the exterior more than I do than in an apartment.
An artful use of space, light and glass. If you weren't a fan of loft spaces earlier, then one look at the architect's loft should convince you otherwise. From Mumbai, Nikhil Shivdas, NDTV.
Time for some smart property advice. Now that 31st March is behind us, it's time to take stock of whether you made the most of your tax benefits to ensure you don't miss out on any benefit which could accrue to you when you file your returns come July 2014. Here's our checklist to understand every possible tax exemption you can avail from your property investments.
If you have an under construction property, then you're eligible for 2 tax breaks. Tax breaks will kick in from the year of possession, and the principal repayment would be deductible under Section 80C. Interest till the year of possession will be deductible over 5 EMIs. If the property in question is a self-occupied house, then you will have tax benefits on your home loan. The principal repayment will be deductible under Section 80C, and the interest will be deductible under Section 24 up to 1.5 lakhs. If you have a rented out property, then you can claim tax benefits with a rented out property as well. You will get a tax benefit on the interest on your loan that you've taken to buy that property and a 30% standard deduction in municipal taxes. And if you want to sell an under construction flat, you will have to pay a long-term capital gains tax.
Time for a quick break. Property It's Hot will be back with the latest range in air conditioners for your home. This is our home improvement section, and today let's talk about air conditioners. Globally, the normal AC is literally obsolete. However, India is only now catching up to the newer technologies in air conditioning that cut your power bills by almost half. Let's chat with the top players in the market for ACs and air coolers on what's hot this summer.
Looking for a new AC to cool off this summer, but losing your calm over the expected power bills? Then let technology come to your rescue. The conventional air conditioners known to be power guzzlers are slowly being replaced by energy-efficient inverter air conditioners in India. The traditional non-inverter air conditioner operates at a constant speed, which is too powerful to maintain the set temperature, which is why it switches the compressor on and off repeatedly. And that results in wider temperature fluctuations, leading to wasteful consumption of energy. An inverter AC, on the other hand, varies the rotation speed of the compressor, giving you energy savings of up to 50%. With fixed-speed air conditioners, you experience extreme cold or extreme warm situations, but inverter ACs maintain a uniform, comfortable temperature. Also, with an inverter AC, the room cools much faster on startup and they are super silent. One of the players to introduce inverter ACs into India is Japanese air conditioning giant Daikin. Their range of inverter ACs are not just energy efficient but also claim to be greener.
This year we've launched air conditioners which run on a refrigerant called R32. Refrigerant is basically something that people also refer to as gas for an air conditioner. This is a green refrigerant. For the first time in the world we have launched these products in India, and they have zero ozone depletion potential, are also more efficient as compared to old refrigerants which are there being used commonly.
Sharp is also a preferred brand that solely focuses on inverter air conditioners. Their latest range comes with a patented plasma cluster ion technology which sanitizes the air, cuts odor and also lets you dry your clothes indoors during monsoons.
It basically वो क्या करता है कि पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव आयंस जो हैं एयर में छोड़ देता है, उससे हाइड्रोक्सिल रेडिकल एक क्रिएट होता है. हाइड्रोक्सिल रेडिकल एक नेचर्स डिटर्जेंट उसको बोलते हैं. तो उसकी वजह से जितना भी बैड ओडोर होता है रूम में या फिर माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म जो हार्मफुल होते हैं ह्यूमन बीइंग के लिए, पीसीआई उनको नाश कर देता है.
Panasonic's top-of-the-line range of air conditioners combines the eco-navi concept of intelligent eco-sensors with inverter technology.
Depending on where the customer is sitting or it will flow the air to that side. And when somebody leaves the room, it recognizes his absence, or when he comes back, the presence, and accordingly adjusts the temperature setting as well.
In addition to these brands, LG, Voltas, Hitachi, Videocon, Blue Star, Samsung and Whirlpool also offer inverter models. Inverter ACs mostly come in the split type and will cost more than your normal AC. Typically, a 1-ton machine will start at a price of 42,000 and will go all the way up to 60,000. Also, you need to keep in mind that the Bureau of Energy Efficiency this year has revised the star rating levels by 1 notch, because of which all companies have raised their prices by about 2,000 rupees. If you don't want to invest in a heavy-duty AC and prefer the old-school comfort of a cooler, then brands like Symphony, Usha and Bajaj have affordable models that retail between 6,000 to 20,000 rupees. Sleek and remote-controlled, Symphony's range of air coolers can fit in any room given its attractive looks. Be it an AC or a cooler, consider the size of your room and the usage before you decide on what machine to pick. And make your purchase before the summer peaks to get a good deal on the price. With camera person Jiten Bhutani, Vasudha Sharma, NDTV.
Summers are also a time when most people repaint their homes. Now, just before you decide to go bold and splash those bright hues on your walls, you might want to give some thought to what kind of paint your home needs, what kind of color palettes work and which ones to avoid. Here's Jude Sanith trying to make your choices a whole lot easier.
It's a mark of completion, that final step before your home gets a whole new look. And that's the reason why a good paint job can make all the difference in shaping the aesthetic of your space. And with summer just having arrived, there's no better time to get down to giving your home the perfect paint makeover. Now, when it comes down to painting your interior walls, remember to throw in a bit of variety to get the best from your space.
Well, there's always been an accent wall kind of a concept that's been very prevalent in interiors. I do think that it helps to have like a really bold splash of color on just one wall because it brings emphasis to that wall. It really depends on what we're trying to do with the interior, but definitely does help, you know, having just one bright red wall in a room and which is generally otherwise quite neutrally toned.
But if you thought the perfect paint job was all about getting your aesthetic right, think again. At the Nippon factory in Sri Perumbudur, Ramakant Akula tells us how paints have moved beyond their aesthetic functionality. Homeowners these days, he says, want a product that's non-hazardous and aesthetic. This, not surprisingly, has led to a number of innovations that have made it to the company's production line. Like paints with low VOCs or volatile organic compounds, chemical compounds with extremely low boiling points that cause respiratory ailments and allergies.
One of such products is now, which has hit the market very recently, is odorless air care. So what it does is basically it absorbs the harmful formaldehyde which is there in the indoor premises and converts that into water vapor. So this is an innovation. I mean, for the first time in the country, Nippon Paint has launched this product. And with this product, I mean, one can say that they can keep their homes free of formaldehyde, which is a very harmful pollutant.
With aesthetic and safety taken care of, all you need out of your paints now is basic functionality. This throws the spotlight on elements like waterproofing and antifungal coats.
We always find that given the humidity we have, prone to a lot of fungal growth and buildings that tend to look really muggy and grown over with algae and fungus. So for kind of making sure that that doesn't happen, we can look at the addition of a waterproofing layer before we put on a paint.
There's a lot more than aesthetics that's at play when it comes to painting your home. Are your paints low on VOCs? Do they have the right kind of waterproofing? And most importantly, does your paint have what it takes to beat the great Indian summer? If that's a yes, go ahead and let your colors shine. In Chennai with camera person Sukumar, this is Jude Sanath for NDTV.
Thanks for watching Property It's Hot. Share your feedback or questions with us at hotproperty@ndtv.com. We'll return next Saturday at 9 AM with another showcase of best properties and hot trends. Goodbye, have a good week.